Hey Taurus, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to your weekly quick read for the week beginning February the 8th. Now, first and foremost, I wanted to touch base with every zodiac. Many might be familiar what is happening in the Lightwork community, especially in the tarot reading community, with Facebook pages being duplicated. Now, I just wanted to let everyone know, if I ever had free offers or promotions, you would hear about it widely across all of my social media, not just on Instagram, not just on YouTube, but on Facebook as well. I wanted to make it clear that all services and products that are purchased through Indigo Ascension can only ever happen on my legitimate website, which is indigo-ascension.com. Please be mindful of any sort of messages. That's not my style. I don't tend to seek contact with clients in that way. I'd sort of never message people or add you as a friend. So please be mindful. There's a very big difference on Facebook between a Facebook page and a Facebook profile, which is a profile is what we would sort of set up for self, for our own personal use. Okay, so a page cannot add you as a friend. And if you notice anything weird, just look out for my other social media platforms as well. I am on Instagram, I am on YouTube. So if there's repeating messages, then you know it's legitimate, obviously. And I am the legal owner of indigo-ascension.com. So it is only through there, which links to PayPal to process credit card payments and whatnot, that legitimate trading means can happen. It's the only way I do my trade as well. So please be mindful. It would be really disheartening for me to learn of anyone that's been sort of taken advantage of, and there's a lot of it going around. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of that, Taurus, okay? So ignore any message requests or friend requests and such. And if you have the time, please do report it. But by all means, yeah, I'd hate to see people get taken advantage of. Because they do go as far as creating websites that capture registrations and credit card details to make it look like it's a representative of a business site. So just be mindful of checking the URL, and unless it says indigo-ascension.com, it is not my site, okay? So, but by all means, all orders and any payment for services is always going to be at the discretion of the client when they process orders through my website. Alrighty, now for your reading for the week beginning February 8th. We continue this massive stellium in Aquarius. What I wanted to focus on was the new moon in Aquarius this week, Taurus. And this big focus on your 10th house. 10th house is all about career, success, recognition, really looking at these themes. And we could be experiencing the shadow, we could be experiencing the light. Maybe you are really being recognized for your skills and abilities. Maybe you are noticing your career pick up finally after a time of being committed to sowing those seeds, okay? You know, it also links to us learning about ourselves and how we redefine success and how we might have adopted beliefs, desires based on family values, cultural values, religious values, whatever the case may be. It is within the 10th house we can explore the many aspects of self, where we get to redefine success, where we get to experience pinnacles that are rightfully ours to experience. So I am definitely connecting into many Taurians that will be experiencing that. I can also be connecting into many Taurians that are like, you know what, now is the time. And Taurus, it is a beautiful time to really go head down, bum up, and start making those career plans. With all this, there's a bigger story at play. There's a 3-year story with Saturn in Aquarius, but this is a new moon, okay? Beautiful time for new beginnings. Venus is here as well. And we're experiencing a lot of stark clarity. So there's a difference between doing and thinking. Alrighty, so we're being pushed into the realms of Aquarian, like the higher realms of the mind, and sometimes for empaths that can create a lot of cognitive dissonance. It can create third eye and crown chakra upgrades. But if we're doing things the same old way, we will continue to experience struggle under these energies, because Aquarius wants us to step outside of our comfort zones. It wants us to grow. It wants us to look at things differently, do things differently, and start to reach, and not just reach, but smash through those glass ceilings, okay, that we'd previously put in place for self. All right, Taurus, let's take a look, my dear. I want to have a look at the tarot cards to represent the recent past and how this might have activated for you at the end of last year, where you're currently at, and this bigger story that's at play. That, like I said, Saturn is in Aquarius for 3 years, okay? In the recent path, it was all about identifying what this means for you. Now, the Ace of Coins is a promise, is a commitment to the career path ahead, to the money ahead, to the financial commitment. It's about creating solid foundations for the future. Maybe there was an amazing career opportunity. Maybe you noticed an increase in finances, or at least financial opportunities. Maybe you noticed and at least identified, Taurus, what it would mean to secure this for self, or what would be required. I feel I'm connecting into many Taurians that are either, like, don't be scared of the Devil card. The Devil card actually rules deep bonds and deep commitments. Maybe you're about to take that career level to the next level, like signing long contracts, deeply committed to this path. Because I really wanted to change my life. I identified what I wanted to commit to. And this is a big story as far as going from the Ace of Coins to the Ten of Coins, yeah? It's going to require dedication. It's going to require devotion. So the Devil, in its essence, is a deep commitment. That's why it rules. It also represents things like mortgages, because a mortgage is not just a 5-year personal loan. It's a 30-year loan. I'm in it for the long haul, okay? Why do I feel relationship stuff here? It's a recognition of patterning too, is what many Taurians might be experiencing as well. On the other hand of the card, when we are also processing both the light and shadow of 10th house energy, this is about recognizing what is toxic to you experiencing success, Taurus, okay? So if you're noticing under this new moon, there are going to be a lot of things you're going to want to be free of, especially as we're experiencing this square energy coming up next week as well, but more about that next week. Which is a confronting energy, okay? Because like I said, this Aquarian energy, it's one thing to think something, but it's another thing to do. And that's this difference with Venus in Aquarius. We're going to want to disconnect ourselves from our emotions, but the new moon in Aquarius also wants us to act and experience new on some way. This energy next week, this squaring energy with Mars, it's going to push you, okay? So if you know in yourself that something needs to be clear that is ultimately toxic to the greater picture, to your success, okay, to your coin, whatever the case may be, you know that now is the time to really address that, okay? But like I said, that Devil card in this particular position can mean a deep, deep commitment, like I am here for the long term. This bigger story is about fundamentally working with Jupiter, fundamentally changing your life, experiencing growth, expansion, working with this Wheel of Fortune energy knows, like we know when we're working with this energy, it is time for change, okay? And it is at our discretion, at our doing. Maybe many Taurians are following their higher self, their higher purpose, their higher path, messages from higher self. Maybe in the recent past, as of December, you did have an aha moment, some cognitive dissonance where you had to pull yourself back and go, you know what do I want 2021 and beyond to look like for me? There's a bigger story at play. Maybe you've made some infant choices. When I say infant choices, it is little steps, doing the research, mapping out a business plan, mapping out a career plan. If this year, when we're focusing with all this 10th house energy, because that's what's lighting up for you guys, Taurus, with all this Aquarian stuff, it rules success, recognition, career for you. Okay, so if this is the year that you finally decide to enroll in study, which is eventually going to take you on a much bigger story, this is also a great way to work with 10th house energy. It's about the long-term goals, the long-term future. Okay, so I do want to emphasize there are some Taurians that need to cut out the excess, cut out what is toxic as far as, and you know, a belief, a lack of confidence in myself, an old ideal about self, an old way of living, believing, okay, is also toxic to me experiencing the new. I can't emphasize it enough. This Aquarian energy really wants to push us outside of old beliefs, old structures, old comfort zones. And if we are not doing some little ways and in big ways, okay, Taurus, but we know in ourselves, if we put things off and we go, oh yeah, tomorrow's another day, we will notice the frustrations build. We will actually struggle in this energy. So it is up to us. Okay, what does action mean versus just thinking is what I do want to leave you with. Interesting that the Peace card is at the bottom of the deck. That's not the one that, because the one that was at the bottom of the deck was honesty, but it was turned down. Okay, so where are you not being honest with yourself, Taurus, about what would ultimately feel like peace for you? Alrighty. I'll leave that with you guys to determine. Alrighty, so if you wanted to book a personal reading with me, Taurus, you can do so by heading above to the Indigo Ascension shop link. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can find all those details in the description box below. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do like, share, subscribe, and share with your other intuitive and sensitive friends so they know where to find the channel. Until next week, Taurus, have an amazing week. Take care.